I'm Charlene Speltz, and I'm a resident of Piedmont, South Carolina.
And how long have you been involved in the museum here, Charlene?
Been involved with the museum about 3 years now. I moved to Piedmont in 1980, so I'm a newbie.
What made you get so interested in the history of this town?
Well, I love Piedmont, and I'm an historian. My major was history, and once you start dealing and delving into what we have here in Piedmont, we hear a lot about Greenville being the textile center of the world, but Greenville was the textile center of the world because what began here in Piedmont in the late 1800s.
Well, tell me about that. Tell me what makes this such a historically important place. You seem to know a lot about it.
Well, we have the mill. We have the mill, we have the river. The river was the reason the mill that was here. The property was purchased to build the area up, and the mill before the Civil War. And after the Civil War, we still could not get the materials to actually build the mill. So everything that went into that first mill came from here. The trees, we had a quarry that actually did the quarrying here. We had a brick facility. And ultimately, we ended up with 4 mills that partnered either side of the river. And then, of course, we lost our footbridge last year to the storm. But that footbridge was that was the center of everything. People crossed that bridge several times a day to get from one mill to the other. And then our mill burned in 1983, I believe. The whole mill went. And at that time, it was a historical, on the historical register. And everything was here because of the mill. This was a mill town. The mill owned the village. The mill owned the houses. The mill owned the people because, yes, we had our company store.
And how did this museum come about?
The museum was actually started by Don Roper. Don Roper was well known in the area as a historian. He did a lot of interviews. He went to the schools and taught people. Don was known as Salute a Sam. And I'm sure a lot of you who read the newspaper from Piedmont, the Informer, you were always anxiously awaiting the article from Salute a Sam. And our artifacts began with the collection that we received from Don Roper, but originally from Mr. Rouse, who started the museum and the collection way back in years when the mill was first started.
And for people who haven't been over here, tell them what kind of things they'll find at the museum when they come to visit.
In the museum, you can find the artifacts, you can find clothes, you can find furniture of the period, you can find information on the churches. Back when the old Union Church was here, and yes, the mill actually kind of owned the church because it provided the insurance, it provided the building, and for all 4 of the churches that were established here in Piedmont. We have annuals, we have photos, we have historians generally on site. I'm not one of the historians, I'm more one of the hysterical people. But we do have actual Piedmont historians here that can give you a good history of what's happening, and we're real proud of what we have.
And when can people come? When are you open? And tell people where you're at, remind people where you're at.
We are located at number 3 Main Street, Piedmont, South Carolina, in what is known as the Community Building. Right now, our only open hours, we are open on the 4th Tuesday of the month from 12 until 4. As soon as we feel a little more comfortable, we will be going back to our regular hours to be open every Tuesday from 10 until 4.
And if people want to find out more, where's the best place for them to go to find out more about what you're doing here?
Our Facebook page. Look for us on our Facebook page, Piedmont Historical Preservation Society. We do updates and we respond as quickly as we can to any messages that you might have for us.